So that was awesome. So yeah, every character, that's why I never pick one, because they all have these little moments and memories that make them so special, and I put them all. My favorite, or the weirdest line I've ever had to say, is an Excel Saga line. I don't think anybody in here is a child. And it's taken out of context. They go up to the top floor of a department store. I'm assuming you probably know what line it is already. And there's a merry-go-round. And Hyatt is very excited about going on the merry-go-round because I've never seen anything that goes up and down and in and out before. I like that. But yeah, I felt very weird saying it. I was like, she is talking about the merry-go? Yeah, okay, good. Yes.
What was, of all the voices you had to do, what was like the most taxing voice? Like the one where you needed a break after?
Lear. Does anybody watch The Gray Man? I play a pumpkin umbrella. That's one for the recipe. And he talks like this. Lear. Which is fun, and I loved it. But there's a countdown that he does that goes on for a long time. And so he's in the background of this scene, and everybody's talking, and I'm like, 1 little, 2 little. Ow, this freaking hurts, little. And it was at Okratron that we were doing it, and so Chris Sabat and my boyfriend, actually, Raleigh Pickens is the engineer, and they're both like laughing at me because the whole time I'm like, 56 little. And it turns out they made me go a lot farther than I needed to. So. Good thing they're my friend.
The punishment must have been awesome.
Oh yes, Sabat. Well, I'm not going to that because it's a little personal. But yeah, Lyra was very taxing. It was a lot of fun, but I was excited to play Lulabelle later in the series because I was like, oh shit, I'm not an umbrella. It doesn't hurt. Yay. Yes, Blue.
Okay. You voiced Maya and Princess Jellyfish. How was that role for you? I didn't even recognize you at first.
Thank you. I loved Maya. If you guys haven't seen Princess Jellyfish, I would highly recommend it. It's a fantastic show, for one, and I'm not just saying that because I'm Maya. I'm saying it's really a good show, and it's one of the shows that Funimation put up. They put like 3 shows up and asked the fans, like, which of these shows would you like dubbed? And the fans, you guys spoke up, and Princess Jellyfish was the one that was chosen. When I went into audition, I didn't know much about the show other than it was the show that the fans had chosen. And that everybody thought it was a really great show because it was so different, because the characters are not your typical big-boobed, hot anime characters. It's a bunch of fangirls that are, like, you know, sticking together. They're really cute. They're really, really cute. But I play Maya, who I thought was a dude when I first saw the picture. We don't see them in action. We just get a picture of the character and then, like, a little synopsis. So I was like, that's a dude, right? I'm like, oh, that's a chick. That's an older chick, and she's into this Three Kingdoms business. I'm like, all right, sweet. So I don't know where that voice came from, but it is one of my favorite things I've ever done in my life. And she does this thing where she'll come in and she'll do poses. She does this deal a lot, and I would be in the booth with Bevins and like talking like this, no foolish homosexuals. Like, it was just so much fun. When I auditioned for that show, I walked out of there and I was like, if I don't get that character, I'm gonna cry. So I love her.
She was my favorite.
Oh, I love her so much. It's a really, really good show, you guys. I can't even tell you how awesome it is. So, if you haven't seen it, check it out. Princess Jellyfish! Yes!
Me?
Yes.
Oh. When you dub, do you get to hear, like, the sound effects and the soundtrack to the anime, or does it?
Good question. It depends on the show. And it depends on the licensors in Japan, because sometimes we get things really quick, like we'll license something and it's like, here's everything about the show. You get the music, the video, everything you could possibly need, pictures, marketing stuff, and then other times they're like, here's some video. Oh, it's been 6 months. Oh, here's our scripts. You need marketing?
Dedicated.
Oh, you want sound? Gosh, you want sound effects? All right. And it's just because they're busy doing other stuff. Like, they've moved on by the time we've gotten to it. So they're like, you guys again. So sometimes it can take a while.
Did you get to hear the soundtrack for Tsubasa?
I did. Tsubasa was one of the ones that we got to. Clamp's really good
Nice.
about sending stuff out. Like, they're one of the ones that's like, stuff.
Won't do.
So yeah, I got to hear all the music, and that really helps a lot of times, because especially in a show like Tsubasa, that music is so great. And so it really gets you in the mood, and then you're moving like a ballerina, and you're like, oh, I feel like a princess, because I am. And then you walk out of the booth, and everybody reminds you that you're not a princess. But yeah, the music and effects can make a big deal. Like Full Metal Alchemist, the first series, I played Dante, which is like the main baddie at the end. And she has a very distinct song that plays whenever she comes around. And at first, she's disguising herself as someone else that I play. So you didn't hear that music, but as soon as you hear the music, I was like,
Oh.
I'm evil. But it really added to the character, and Mike McFarlane would make fun of me because every time that music would come on, I'd be like, yeah. It's like, you almost start to look like Dante because that music comes on and you're like, I feel it.
That's awesome.
Where are the Elric brothers? You know, like, I'm going to kill them. So yeah, the music can make a huge difference. And sometimes it's harder. I know, like, with a lot of shows when we don't have the music and sound effects, they'll bring in some of us that have been doing it for a long time. Because especially for the newer voice actors, it gets really hard when all of a sudden you're talking to the air. There's nothing there. Like, so at least those of us that have been doing it for a while, we're kind of used to talking to the wall, so they'll bring us in first, so at least they have something to talk. But it makes a huge difference. I love having the effects. Anybody else? What's up? Oh, you haven't asked a question, and then I'll come back.
Like, what's the most embarrassing thing you've seen a fellow voice actor do, like, around the area?
The area?
Or like, where you work?
Oh, where I work. Oh. There's, I've known Aaron Disney, who played Alphonse in the original. Yeah, he's done a whole bunch of stuff. I've known him since he was like 8. And he was at Funimation, and we had this Dragon Ball skateboard that was like on the charity, we had a charity table where everybody signed stuff so it could be auctioned away at conventions. And we're all sitting on these couches hanging out. I think it was me and like Tatum and Lucy or somebody. And Aaron was there, and he picks up this skateboard, and he's like, hey guys, check it out. And he gets on the skateboard, and it goes out from under him, and he falls flat on his butt. And I was like, and I couldn't help it. I mean, like, he was fine. He wasn't hurt or anything. But the poor guy, I mean, like, he's younger, and he's trying to be cool. This was when he was still alive. I was trying to be cool, and I didn't even think about it, because I have 2 younger brothers, and that's what you do. They do something stupid, you laugh and point.